Hey. What are you doing?
Getting your identification on record, so you won't be a threat to us anymore.
What?
And I think you owe us after everything you've done. Expect me to come collect one of these days. Your carriage awaits, Mamiya-san.
Don't tell me we're going back to that dingy arcade.
We sure are. But try not to hold a grudge. It wasn't us who abandoned you. Higashi, you already called Sari-san and the gang, right?
Yeah, I let them know what's up. They said they'll head over when they're ready.
Did Shirosaki-sensei say anything?
Well, she was pretty stunned when I told her who—
Sounding a little smug there, Higashi-san. Taking credit for the detective work you didn't even do? Back me up here, Yagami-san.
Whatever, man. Kuwana got away, and that's still, the task in front of us is finishing Sari-san's case. With Mamiya-san's help, of course.
Finally, I'm ready to get some answers. Well, we still got time till Shirosaki-sensei gets here.
Huh?
Sure. I'll call you once everyone's here.
Yeah, a break sounds good.
By the way, Higashi, is anything unusual?
Yeah, about that. My guys were saying things. Soma and Akutsu are out in Ijincho too. And they can pay for what they did to—
Make them pay? Aren't your Yakuza—
That's not the Yakuza in me talking. That's just a problem
Isn't that exactly what a Yakuza would say?
Fine. Think of it as getting I'm doing the right thing, damn it!
Yeah, maybe it's just how you're putting it.
Besides, what's it matter if I was Yakuza?
Whatever you say. Much it. Hey, Yagami-san. It's
Hey,
Shirosaki-sensei and the others just got to Charles.
got it. Then I'll head back.
Thanks.
Really? You too, Genda-sensei?
What? Am I in?
Of course not. I didn't know you...
I figured if they could pull a fast one on Saori-kun.
Why are all these people here? What?
We've been waiting for you, Yagami-san. Mamiya-san is about to enlighten us on the truth behind the grove.
Good.
Oh, and I heard about Sawa-sensei.
Our condolences.
Looks like she got mixed up in all this when RK was chasing after Kuwana. But we're still not sure why they chased him. To figure that out, we'll have to reach...
Exactly.
That said, let's start with the harassment charges, Mamiya-san.
Fine. Let's get this over with.
Pout all you want, but keep the answers straight. Got it?
Ihara's assault was designed to establish a false alibi for Miko, so Kuwana had you play the victim. And together, you pulled one over on the police.
Can you confirm if this is all accurate so far, please?
Yeah.
The person who groped you on the train wasn't Ihara-san himself. It was his stand. And my understanding is that he had conspirators to help him fabricate this event?
That's right.
What was Kuwana doing at the time? Was he in Ijincho or Tokyo?
Didn't you hear your lady friend? And that stand-in was our sensei.
You mean Kuwana posed as Ahara himself? So this Ahara was actually Kuwana. Huh.
Sensei and Ehara-san have a pretty similar build.
But some spots don't look right, like his mouth. You sure that's really Kuwana-san?
That part around his mouth is fake. He said he scanned Ehara-san's face and made it on a...
Oh, huh.
You can print things in 3D now?
Well, it's a machine that takes a model's data from a computer and prints physical objects using materials. So if you were to scan a person's face onto a computer, a 3D printer could accurately...
I don't know the details, but that's what Sensei used to become Ehara-san.
Something like this. See, with a 3D printer, a piece of a face is pretty easy to make.
What the hell?
I see. His eyes are hidden behind the sunglasses, and the seams on his jaw are obscured.
It's incredible, I must say. With the mouth area so visible, it's too and with the prosecution assuming he's just another sexual predator, they felt...
This is no time to be impressed. In case you forgot, he had the defense.
Right.
Assuming Kuwana was Ahara's double, there's still some evidence I'm iffy.
I'm of the same opinion.
Okay. Which...
Any thoughts after seeing this?
Stop it.
You're gonna look away? You aided and abetted by playing the victim.
I mean, yes,
Who put this video up on the internet?
Sensei did. He said from the start that once Ehara-san got his guilty verdict, he'd upload it to the internet.
So that was all part of the plan.
Yeah. Sensei can't forgive the law for how easy it lets off bullies. Ehara-san's to say his son's death was brushed aside. The court blamed his suicide on unknown, and that's what led them to his whole plan. The real victim is some bully who never got what he deserved, and the killer gets off in court by being convicted of battery. How would the public respond after finding out they'd gamed the law like that?
So Kuwana and Ahara's real plan was to make a mockery out of it.
Seems to be going well for them. The courts are beside themselves for dragging.
I guess Ahara really was desperate. He was never concerned about his own punishment. He tarnished his own...
Yeah, cop or not, nobody took responsibility for his son's death. The courts all but ignored his case.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Sensei and Ehara-san are the perfect pair with nothing to lose. The only ones who do are the ones forced to comply. Speaking of which, are we done?
Can you take a closer look?
That's the Ikebukuro station platform.
If Kuwana was pretending to be Ahara, then Kuwana was also the man in the video before.
Right. Didn't we go over this already?
This piece of the puzzle still needs an explanation.
Is that...
The police examined the trace evidence on Ahara's hands after he was caught. And from the analysis, the same fibers from Mamiya-san's undergarments were found on...
That's right. If the stand-in was the groper, Ehara-san wouldn't have touched Mamiya-san, but the evidence on Ehara-san's hands suggests otherwise.
I take it there was a trick to this, too?
That's simple. Before I got in the train, I met with the real Ehara-san at the underground. That's when I had him touch the undergarment. After that, all I had to do was go to the bathroom and put them on. That's where what the police found on Ehara-san's hands was exactly what we wanted them to find. And the courts really ate it up. It was hard not to laugh sometimes, to be honest.
You're really starting to open up. That's the spirit. How about this, then?
And this is?
Before the incident, Ahara used this card to go through the ticket gate at Ikebukuro.
Right, and it was on October 7th at 7...
Thanks, Hoshino-kun.
Happy to help, Yagami-san.
At the earliest, Mikoshiba's time of death would have been... If Ahara killed Mikoshiba in Ijincho, he would have only had 13 minutes to get... And frankly, that's impossible.
That's what's dumping you?
Huh?
Sensei borrowed the card from Ehara-san beforehand. and passed through the gate. Afterward, he slipped it back to Ihara-san when they switched. That way, Ihara-san ended up having the time-stamped card on him.
So even the entry time through the ticket gate was used as part of the alibi?
It all seems so obvious now that I hear it. Nobody'd suspect that a groping was being used as an alibi for murder.
Yeah. And on top of all that, no one knew Mikoshiba had been killed during the trial.
Anything else?
Yagami-san, you sure that's enough?
Yeah, I think we've got plenty. Bottom line, groping was... At the very least, we know that the prosecution's evidence can all be refuted.
The courts were being intentionally misled. I'm considering filing an appeal.
Are you saying you want a retrial?
I am. We'll reveal Ihara and Kuwana's plot and overturn the verdict they issued.
That might be harder than it sounds.
Why do you say that, Genda-sensei?
Well, the previous trial resulted in Ihara being found guilty, right? As the client, if he doesn't want an appeal, there doesn't matter what any lawyer tries to do. If Ihara refuses to appeal, then that's that.
Then we'll talk to him tomorrow. First, we need to see how he reacts to everything we've got on him.
Sounds good. Then let's meet at the detention center tomorrow.
Will do.
So, we done?
Sure are. Great job, everyone.
Yo, Yagami. You sure it was cool to let that...
Yeah? Why?
I mean, she helped Kuwana kill all those people. Aren't you gonna turn her...
I would, but there's nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do?
Frankly, we don't have any proof of the murder she was talking about.
What, so this is all for nothing?
Nothing directly pointing to Mamiya anyway. Aside from Mikoshiba, no other bodies turned up, which means all we can do is take her home, right? Sugiura is making sure she gets back safe.
Fine, forget it. Why are you still here? Everyone else went home already.
Come on, man, why the cold shoulder? Am I really that annoying?
You wouldn't be the guy I'd call to hang out with.
Wow. Straight for the jugular, huh?
But if it's help you need, I'll be there. But only if you bow your head and ask nice. Then...
I know for a fact you'd help me out regardless, so why waste a good bow? Thanks for the drink.
Dude, come on. That was your cue to bow and ask nice.
Great. More of them.
And stay down.
So, you're recommending an appeal? I have that right? Did some new evidence come to light?
Yui Mamiya told us some things. Like how you faked your alibi for Mikoshi. You wanted the sexual battery
Well,
Your goal was to avenge your son and humiliate the law on a grand
I have
scale.
no idea what you're talking about.
Ahara-san, we have a much better grasp of the situation than you.
And what exactly have you...
Like Yagami-san just said, you're innocent. As your lawyer, I'll file for an appeal. And we'll make sure the world knows.
Thanks, but no. I'm scum of the earth. A pervert. The prosecution...
On the day of the crime, October 7th, at around 6:30 a.m.
Baloney. I was
Except
relaxed.
that you weren't.
Oh?
You wanted to give the man who pushed your son to suicide the beat, and you'd miss out on that opportunity if you were at home, which is why you were in Ijincho instead. Isn't that right? You and Kuwana's former student staked out Mikoshiba's house until he left. Then you dragged your prey into a car and brought him to an abandoned building in Ijincho, which every bone on Mikoshiba's fingers was broken. Remembering how he pushed Toshiro-kun to his death, it's no wonder you'd go that far. You tortured Mikoshiba without a shred. You inflicted no small amount of pain and terror. There's no way you weren't there, and I'd put my money on.
And then...
You need the whole play-by-play? Even though you already...
Oh, not at all. I'm just fascinated by this outrageous little...
As for what you did next after beating Mikoshiba,
It's quite a home video.
without leaving anything on Mikoshiba's body that could be traced back to you, you slit his throat. Estimated time of death was around... You tossed the bloody coat and made your way to Ikebukuro Station, where Yui Mamiya was waiting.
Are you sure? I was at Ikebukuro by 7:30 a.m. Would have been impossible for me to kill Mikoshiba in Ijincho.
The person in the security camera footage in Ikebukuro was a double who imitated you, the identity of whom belonged to Jin Kuwana, the handyman in Ijincho, former high school teacher Yu Kitakata. So which name did he give you?
I don't know who you're talking about.
With Kuwana in view of the security camera, you met up with Yui Mamiya at Ike. That's where you touched the undergarments she had prepared. The police would later discover the trace evidence on your hands and pin the grope. Then you made your way to Shinjuku Station. After that, Mamiya and Kuwana acted out the groping as they arrived at Shinjuku. Kuwana jumped out of the train and Mamiya chased after him. And then, in the smallest of blind spots in a station absolutely packed with cameras, you were waiting for Kuwana, who looked just like you. With the two of you matching, you were able to swap places in that huge crowd without... Kuwana handed you the transit card used to pass the ticket gate. Just one piece of hard evidence that played... And right after the swap, Mamiya started calling for help. After that, well, we've all seen how the news reported it. You were caught in a public place with plenty of witnesses.
An active duty police officer arrested for sexual battery. The public outcry was as a result. Despite it being your first offense, you were actually The consensus is that it was a fitting punishment for someone so heinous. Even as your lawyer, I felt this.
Have some confidence in yourself. The prosecution, the judge, and a lawyer like you all laid out the evidence. I'm in no position to doubt you. And I've long accepted the... There's nothing I can do but abide by the rule of law. Right? That's all I can do,
I know what you're trying to say. You carried out the justice that the courts wouldn't.
Everything my son went through was passed off like it never even happened. School, the teachers, and yet...
That's when Kuwana came in the picture, telling you Toshiro-kun had been bullied. But was it Kuwana's words that suddenly made you want to kill Mikoshiba? Because all of his fingers were broken while he was still alive. Was that really all just your pent-up rage?
What do you have to...
Did Toshiro-kun ever tell you about the bullying himself?
My son never confided in me about any of that.
Then how did you know there was bullying? Did Kuwana? No. That doesn't sound... Was Sawa-sensei the one who told you the truth? You had to have heard it from her.
Nearly hit the nail on the head.
Nearly?
After my trial, she confessed she knew about the bullying. She had no idea she was being recorded.
What?
Kuwana-san let me listen to that recording where I learned Sawa-sensei had been muzzled by both the home. That was the proof of Toshiro's bullying I'd wanted all throughout the After hearing Sawa-sensei's words, I finally understood.
Was there no other evidence of the bullying? Like a diary of Toshiro?
Nothing. When I heard about it, I chewed him out.
I take it that was the wrong approach.
Yeah. I can't imagine how much courage. I'm sure he felt ashamed about it. I should have told him I was proud of his bravery, but instead, I pushed him away. No matter how much pain he went to a private school out in Yokohama because he hated.
And that's why you didn't hesitate to unleash
If you say so.
So the first time Kuwana showed up was when he let you listen to the phone?
Yes. He approached me and asked me if I still wanted I was in uniform when he came to me too. Very bold. He reassured me he had already taken care of, and that he'd urged other families to avenge the children. He'd tell them that simply being branded a bully wasn't enough.
If justice can be served at one's own discretion, laws would cease to serve them. If the law isn't fair to everyone, no one will obey. The law is only able to help the powerless because it can't be swayed by money, force, or anything else.
Then tell me, what's the solution when the law fails to punish? To overlook those the law won't judge is to abandon those the law couldn't protect.
To render justice with confidence, you require—
Some of the victims' families refused Kuwana's offer of revenge, but even after rejecting his offer, not a one. Do you understand what that implies? Whether you follow through with Kuwana-san presents a solution that resonates with being that the law is unfair and
No, you're not. But we're fighting to make it as fair as we can. Laws have to change until they are perfect.
They don't change fast enough. Toshiro's death was murder by another name. Yet Hiromi Kushiba walked free. He even got to enroll in a someone like him? I'd die of old age before the law was ever written to be fair enough. For Toshiro's sake, I can't turn a blind eye to a world. Tell me, what alternative was there to getting blood on my hands? I didn't—
Yagami-san, did he just—
This is the first time you've admitted to killing Mikoshiba.
You really did your research, unlike those useless cops. Kuwana-san's I didn't expect it to be unraveled so quickly.
I just got lucky. There was some dirt on Yui Mamiya that Kuwana could have used against her. If we hadn't found it, there's no way we would have gotten her to talk.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, but I'm under no obligation to tell you.
Ahara-san, you'll be sent to prison as a sex offender as it stands.
Of course. Just as I planned. The charges will be confirmed, and I'll be convicted. They wouldn't be able to admit they made a mistake. I could scream, "I killed Mikoshiba" at the top of my lungs.
Are you saying you intend to admit to the murder after you're released?
Everyone's seen the video of me killing. It's obviously authentic, but the prosecution and the police are saying it's fake. They need it. Even if I do confess, they'll sweep it under the rug.
They wouldn't.
No, that's not beneath them. But I take it how they react doesn't really matter to you. All you want is to humiliate the law, don't you? The same system that determined Toshiro-kun.
It seems you're starting to understand. The prosecution wanted to charge me for Mikoshiba's murder, and that would mean admitting to a mess. It would be chaos. Despite knowing who murdered Mikoshiba, no one would know what to make of the case. Wouldn't that just be wonderful?
I hear you.
Do you?
But in this case, the guys pretty much grabbed the tiger by the tail.
What tiger's tail?
Someone's issuing orders to the thugs in Kamurocho from behind the scenes. He's the tiger in this case. And they've been closing in on your partner, Kuwana, and Sawa-sensei got in their path. I'm sure you get the newspaper in here, right? You know, don't you? Sawa-sensei was killed after the thugs broke into her home.
I'm aware she was killed. This is the first I'm hearing of the reason why. And by thugs, you mean RK?
Yeah, but we don't know why they're going after Kuwana. Any ideas?
No way I'd know.
You think it could be because she got mixed up in your deadly little game?
Excuse me?
That's what getting away with murder really looks like. The more you perpetuate the lie, the greater the rift you create. And then, the unthinkable. Kuwana killed others besides Mikoshiba. He said so. That's what brought the angry tiger into play. And if Sawa-sensei ended up paying for that instead, then how can you begin to believe your vengeance is fair?
Because she gave false testimony. She lied in court to say Toshiro was never bullied.
She couldn't name Mikoshiba, who was a minor at the time, without evidence. What's more, she was haunted by her testimony, always second-guessing if she did the right thing. But now she's been killed. Somehow that's acceptable to you? I'm gonna clear up what happened to Sawa-sensei, just like you did for Toshiro-kun.
How?
By going public with everything you and Kuwana did. The first step is to appeal the sexual battery and undo this whole...
You never groped Yui Mamiya. That's one crime you're in. The court's verdict was incorrect. So please give us the chance to appeal. We can...
What on earth would I get out of that?
You get to humiliate the court again. Besides, what are you gonna do for the next half a year in a cell?
Fine. Do what you want. But just know this.
Yes?
I have no intention of admitting to killing Mikoshiba in court. Is your appeal still worth a damn?
We won't know until we try. Let's go, Sari-san. We have client approval to proceed with the appeal. We better act fast.
Yes, agreed.
Yagami-san. Sawa-sensei's death isn't, even if I have grabbed the tiger by the tail.
By that logic, you may as well admit that Mikoshiba didn't kill Toshiro-kun. You can't have it both. Listen to me. Everything about you, about Kuwana, about why Sawa-sensei had to die, we're gonna expose all of it. That's the only thing left we can do for her.
I'm going to fill Genda-sensei in on what happened. Why don't you head over to the office?
Sure thing.
So then, Ihara...
Off the record, yeah. He also admitted Kuwana approached him to...
Sounds like you were productive.
It's enough for us to move forward with the appeal, I'd say.
Genda's?
sexual battery and Mikoshiba's... To clear Ihara of harassment, you'll need to prove he murdered...
Ihara-san was captured on video committing...
And the prosecution claims it's a fake.
They're only saying that to cover their ass.
In reality, the sexual battery evidence against Ihara-san is what was... At the very least, we can claim Yui Mamiya and the others aided in fabricating that.
You really think the courts will grant you an appeal for just that?
Are you saying that's not possible?
I wouldn't go that far. But Ihara won't admit to murdering Mikoshiba in court. So what chance do you have even if you do it? Without any decisive new evidence, you'll just end up splitting hairs over the... And what good'll it do other than damage your own reputation?
To be honest with you, I feel like I've...
What?
Saori-san, are
Yes.
you
As a matter of fact, I am.
You have every right to be.
Listen, Sensei. Ihara and Kuwana devised this plan knowing full... Have we not fallen right into their trap? If we take pity on the prosecution now, we play right into their hands.
True.
So how can we worry about reputation when our duty as lawyers is to face the...
I understand where you're coming from, and you're right to think...
And another thing. While acting as Ihara's defense in the first trial, I didn't trust the person I was defending, and I felt sick to my stomach even...
Saori-san,
Hara likely saw right through that. He probably took great delight in our myopic dedication, and I won't stand for that. I'm gonna show him exactly what I can.
What about you, Yagami? I want to hear.
We should listen to Sari-san. I understand why Ihara and Kuwana did what they did.
I see.
Yes. Although my motivation may not be as righteous as
What do you mean?
Mikoshiba's murder, the fake groping alibi, the one behind it all. We need to shine enough light on him that the public can see. And the perfect place to do it is during Ihara's.
So it's not Ihara you're after.
If we pursue Ihara's case, Kuwana-san's action.
And if we draw out Kuwana, then RK and the ones backing them will make their move. Soma from RK said Sawa-sensei knew too, which means whoever's behind them has a secret that needs to stay buried. Even if it means, and I need to figure that secret out. I owe Sawa-sensei. The only thing we can do for her now is make sure the ones pulling the strings pay for it.
Well said. I guess going back wasn't ever really an option. And it looks like I got complacent from all.
I apologize. I shouldn't have been so impertinent.
That should be my line, Saori-kun. I suppose I have to make up, get out there and do what needs to be done. And heaven help anyone in your way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You heard him.
Hello?
Yagamishi, are you still in
Yeah, why? What's up?
I'm afraid RK seems to be amassing.
Are they now?
Yeah, I can't shake the feeling that.
You think so? If I was Soma, I'd have left Ijincho by now.
I see. That does.
Things are settling into place here, though. I'm heading back to Ijincho with Sugiura. We got a lot to...
Wonder what it.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Want to slow down, Yagami-san?
Well, now that's something. Looks like we're finally...
Kuwana-san, or rather Kitakata-sensei, huh? But there's still some things that doesn't explain.
Like what?
Like, why does RK keep going after Kuwana-san?
Yeah. That's the piece. Before they came to Ijincho, RK was originally... But when they found out he might have been killed,
We can guess all we want, but that's not gonna get us any... They're strengthening their numbers in Ijincho as we speak.
the goons at the bottom rung aren't gonna be in the know. Though if Akatsu or Soma were around, then we might get somewhere.
That's true.
Sitting around here won't get us any further. I'm gonna head into the city for a bit. I'm quick on my feet. That's about all I have going.
How modest of you.
Yeah, don't say that, Yagami.
Hello?
It's Shirosaki. Do you have a minute?
Yeah, what's up?
I was thinking back on our interview, so I wanted to ask your opinion.
Which part felt off?
The part about Kuwana approaching. Harusan also mentioned that most...
Yeah, and?
Well, wasn't the first bully Kuwana killed his own student? Tormented by his bullies? Mitsuru Kusamoto's lead. That event was the catalyst for Kuwana's actions.
Mitsuru Kusamoto's parents?
Yes, who is currently... But if she accepted or... There's no way she'd ever want that. With her level of influence and power, which would explain how RK's actions are being...
And you think it's Reiko Kusamoto?
You don't think vice ministers can control criminal organizations from the shadows? You know,
Yeah. Tsukumo's actually looked into her before. I'll talk to him about it right now. Yeah, this is genius, Sari-san. This could lead us...
Quite a compliment coming from you. I feel better already.
Don't sweat it. I'll call you if I... Why is this always... You need to listen. And stay down.
Yagami-san, back.
That was...
Well, the day's not over yet. She might be the one behind...
Really?
Yeah. Can you pull up the picture of her you...
Okay. Take a look at this, Yagamishi. Reiko Kusamoto became vice minister. It hasn't even been a full year yet.
Looks like she's still got a good rep.
Yeah, there's almost no criticism of her out.
The ministry revolution. Bucking the bureaucracy. Vice minister is pretty high up there.
Big time. And in that case, she'd need some...
Some kind of connection? A bit vague.
Fair enough, but RK...
Right. And after killing Sawa-sensei, they tried to kill me. Still, no matter how dangerous the gang, murder... Then again, if someone's pulling the strings, they have a lot less to... Especially if that someone has vice ministers.
Well, the internet's not gonna give us much else.
Maybe we should.
Would it really be that...
Mitsuru Kusamoto's still in a coma, right?
Yes?
If he's in a hospital, we can catch her by surprise there.
I get you. That might work.
Huh. What's this now?
What's what now?
Breaking news from the net. It says manhunt for Sawa-sensei's murderer.
And?
It's hitting the network news, too.
Wanted
The
for
person
the
they're
murder
at?
of private school teacher Yoko Sawa in her own apartment. Kanagawa PD is conducting a search for the suspect. Self-proclaimed handyman.
Why are they looking for Kuwana?
Shouldn't they be after Soma?
It's also surfaced that he's been using a false identity. The police are hopeful that their search will turn up some sort of connection.
If Kuwana-san was caught on camera, then surely some arcade...
Yeah, I think so. On that note, I should have been in the footage. The police only seem to want Kuwana. But why? Guess we'll have to ask them ourselves.
Ask who?
Detective Watanabe from Kanagawa PD. He was the guy...
Been a while, hotshot.
Yeah, I guess it has. Hey, I'm curious. Do you have any evidence that Kuwana killed Sawa-sensei?
I take it you saw the news. Kuwana was caught on camera near the crime scene. Plus, he knew the victim.
But I saw Soma holding an ice pick up to Sawa. Plus, there were RK footprints all over the scene. So what?
Because the big boys with big balls at HQ said so. Barking at me won't get
So
you
this
any-
is all just pressure from upstairs?
Why are you so bent out of shape? Kuwana's a legitimate suspect, and also stick your private investigator schnoz somewhere.
You know, you sound pretty bent out of shape yourself. Where are you?
Uh-huh.
I was thinking maybe we could meet up. How's a free pass to bitch about your work sound? Abe-san?
On the phone, in person, there's nothing I can tell you.
He hung up.
Yagamishi, I managed to focus in on the background noise from your phone call. Despite all the interference, I have a good idea of Nabe-san.
What? Seriously?
He's on the main drag in Chinatown. If you go now, I'm sure you'll find him.
But is he even gonna listen?
Won't matter if I miss him because we sat here wondering.
Yagami Detective Agency, quick on its feet indeed.
Can
Yagami, why are you here?
Oh, hey, Nabe-san. And you were...
It's Sakurai.
Oh, right.
I take it you didn't just happen to be in the neighborhood.
Let's just say some friends of mine have a real keen sense of smell. Something...
Excuse me, pal.
The Sawa case. Why aren't you going after RK? Or are you, and you're just keeping me...
This isn't the place to talk about that. What the... Hey!
I get the feeling something's keeping you guys from doing your jobs. And I don't have to listen to you.
You want to say that again?
Sakurai, I gotta hit the can. Head back to the station.
Huh?
Need to take a piss, Yagami? You're looking hydrated.
Yeah, good call.
Then let's.
Damn. Let's see.
Nice spot you brought me to. Very romantic. Do the cops really believe Kuwana is responsible for Sawa-sensei?
We wouldn't be looking for him if we weren't serious.
To arrest Kuwana?
His real name's Yu Kitakata. He's been using a fake. And he surfaces right at in my eyes, he was suspicious enough.
What about Soma from RK? He should have been spotted on the nearby cameras too. Like when he entered her apartment.
He wasn't.
How is that possible?
Let me rephrase. There's no footage that had RK anywhere near it.
What's that supposed to mean?
From the moment Mikoshiba's murder went down, the higher-ups have been busy playing politics. I had a handle on things when they were just competing with Tokyo PD over who got to grill Ihara. But after that murder footage came out, it really stirred shit up. Sawa-sensei's case has me scratching. Someone at the top is trying to keep details under wraps. They think...
You're saying the whole force is in on...
It started with the footage surrounding Sawa's apartment. Someone on the inside. Any footage that had the RK guys tagged in it is totally...
Erase the footage? Are you serious?
Yeah. You heard me. Kuwana leaving her place is all that's left. Even the parts where you show up are long gone. Before and after, the only person that the cameras pin the crime on is Kuwana himself.
Who would go so far to erase the footage? Who would do something like that?
It's time to let it go, Yagami. Mikoshiba's case and Sawa-sensei's case, they're closing the book. And to tie up the loose ends, and this is the shitty part, Kuwana has to die in an accident.
What?
Soon as they track him down, they'll put him into custody and then blame it on negligence. They'll say he resisted arrest and died in the struggle, I guess. Someone clearly wants Kuwana gone, and they have the power to do it.
Come on. Who could have that power?
Kuwana is clearly a target of someone higher up. Even if he sees it coming, he won't be able to stop it. As far as I'm concerned, the case is closed. You wouldn't understand until you've been on the force. When the team you're playing for is rotten to the core, all you can do is look the other way. As for me, I'll stick to the cut and dry cases for a while. That's what'll keep me an honest cop.
That's bullshit! You'll shut the lid on the trash, ignore the smell of the rot coming from inside, and go on pretending it's justice? And then you call that being an honest cop?
Asshole. Did you forget that you were talking to a detective?
You never did answer the question, Nami-san. Who had the authority to erase the security cameras? Who wants Kuwana dead so bad that they do it inside?
Even if I told you, what the fuck could you do about it, detective? Smartass! Leave it alone, Yagami. It's for your own good.
Is that your call? Well, I think I'll be the judge of that.
You little piece of shit! I've had enough! You dead son of a bitch!
Let's go!
Time you cooled off! Have a drink!
No, no.
That's what you get for poking around! Fuck that! Gotcha! Give up already!
They broke the lock and forced their way into Sawa-sensei's place. That's when Soma came in. I'm sure she was terrified. They were pointing an ice pick at her. When I found her, her eyes were still. Yet the police are going after Kuwana instead of Soma. And the cops that were there know he isn't a suspect, but say their hands are tied. So it'll be my voice you hear instead of hers. And when they come to silence me, I'll know who the puppet masters are. And if you have any idea who might be pulling the strings, I need you to tell me, is there anyone on the force who would want Kuwana dead?
The moment we opened Sawa-sensei's case, the Kanagawa brass had a suspect file ready to go. They didn't point to your guy Soma. They named you Kitakata. Hilarious, isn't it? You were the first to the scene, which means the bigwigs pulled a suspect file before it even happened.
Where'd the info about Kitakata come from?
Not sure. About the National
Public Security? Why is public security in?
Seems they were interested in RK's criminal. You know how after the Tojo clan disbanded, the criminals started going on? Well, public security would rather let RK roam free than bust them. I'm on it, and even if you catch these guys, no ones will just take their place.
Wait, so they want RK on the streets? Is that why they're brushing Sawa-sensei?
If RK goes down in one fell swoop over a murder case, they have to find a new source of it. Purely speaking, from public security's point of view, that is.
Unbelievable.
Not that they'd ever say that out in, well, public. If you believe public security, there's no way RK killed Sawa-sensei.
What the hell? Do they even have a reason?
Not that I'm aware of. On top of that, I asked Tokyo PD about Soma. But no priors, no census registry, not even a damn profile.
Then what does that mean?
The man known as Kazuki Soma doesn't exist, basically. Maybe that's how it's always been, or maybe it's a... They had plenty of files on Kuwana to send our way instead. They're the ones who made him a prime suspect in Sawa-sensei's case.
That doesn't make any sense.
Look, Kuwana's a scapegoat for RK. Public security wants to shut the curtains on Sawa. As far as they're concerned, with Kuwana silenced...
So that's what you meant by Kuwana having an accident.
Right. Better to flush your ship and keep a lid on it.
So who's running the show in public security?
I wasn't told, unfortunately. Afraid I'm further down the food chain than you thought. Yeah, Watanabe speaking. Huh? Geomijul. Right, got it. Call me if anything else comes up. Juana's been spotted. A witness reported seeing him in Geomijul.
Seriously? He's back here?
Couldn't say for sure.
Where's he at?
Fukutokucho, in Koreatown, where the Geomijul hang out.
Geomijul?
Apparently it means spider web in Korean. You haven't seen it?
And Kuwana's there?
You're not gonna say you got that from me, right?
I don't have much time. You said Kuwana might have an accident, didn't you? I'm sure that's why you're telling me all this.
If you find him, let him know it's public security that's after him.
Yagamishi, it's me. I have an update for you. It seems...
Yeah, in Geomijul, right?
Fastidious as ever. But the police have...
Already?
They're probably gonna surround the area and gradually close in.
Public security is probably behind that.
An accident?
Long story short, I need to find Kuwana before the cops do.
I most certainly can. In the meantime, I'll be monitoring the surround...
Appreciate that, Tsukumo.
This is Tsukumo. Yagamishi, please come in.
Hey, I think I'm in front of Geomijul. Then you'll notice the cops block the road. Any way I can get in there?
Not to worry. I've already looked into an infiltration.
Better be careful here. Way to go. So.
Can you see the white car that's parked in front of the barricade?
Yeah, I can.
There's a really small gap on the side of the car. You should be able to fit through it. It'll be a tight squeeze, I'm sure, but I have no doubt in your agility.
Yeah, but...
You can leave that part to me.
Tsukumo, where should I go from here?
Geomijul proper seems to be located behind those construction fences. There's one door in the fence, so that's your best bet.
Tsukumo, can I get a hand?
Just leave it to me.
I see now. Tsukumo, keep navigating for me, huh?
Sensei! Show yourself! Come on, get your ass out here!
Relax with the yelling, will you? You're giving away our location.
How am I supposed to relax? This shit's intense.
Shh.
Sugiura?
Didn't Tsukumo-kun tell you I was on my way?
Yeah. Suppose he...
Yagami-san, all these guys...
Does that mean RK beat the police?
No, not exactly. I just saw some cops let but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, that'd be crazy,
No, that was no mistake.
But why?
Someone in authority on the force is trying to get rid of Kuwana. So they want him to have...
What?
Insane or not, I need to get to Kuwana before RK...
I don't.
Good question. Let's just... Aren't there people from Geomijul here? Maybe we can ask them where Kuwana is.
Worth a shot? That looks like a lot of RK muscle to me, Yagami-san.
Yeah. But if that many are out searching...
True. I don't see anywhere else we can go. So let's go up those stairs.
Looks like this is the highest we can go.
Yagami-san, we've got RK coming in from below, too.
Let's find another route on this floor. What the... Hey. What the... Hey. What the... Uh-huh. Hey.
Yeah, we should be able to get up from here. Yeah. There we go.
Damn. Wish I was that nimble.
Yo, you guys are Geomijul, aren't you?
Huh?
Geomijul?
What's going on here, man? This
Yagami-san. They seem...
I'd rather not have to bullshit then.
So, take him down?
Yeah.
Yagami-san, looks like the top floor is up ahead. There's a room on this side too, though. Might be worth checking out.
Ah, you morons.
Let's not jinx it, man.
You guys came looking for Kuwana, right? What were you gonna do to him?
We were just told to catch him. Not sure.
You sure the plan wasn't to kill him?
I said I don't know.
Who gave the order here? Soma?
It was Akusa-san. Probably on Soma-san's orders, though.
Hey, Yagami-san?
Hey, how come Ijincho has so many creepy masks?
I was just gonna ask you.
Kuwana's not here.
Huh?
That intel was fake. We were the ones who put it out.
You live here? Then you must be Komi.
Normally, it's us hiring the handyman. But this time, it was Kuwana asking to...
Huh? To put out false
Yes. He said he wanted to see what kind of enemy he was dealing with, and how they'd respond to an eyewitness, seeing as how easy police info made its way to these thugs. Like, were he any closer, he would have been ensnared by now.
So Kuwana's nearby, watching everything unfold as we speak? He's really in Ijincho?
We'll have to clear the room to discuss that.
Hey! Why are you looking at me?
Sorry.
As you said, Kuwana's returned to Ijincho. There are benefits to being here that only...
Where's he hiding out?
Under the protection of Tesso from the Yokohama Ryomon. But you're cleared to see him. We already took care of that.
Kuwana actually said he'd meet us? That'd be helpful, thanks.
Bear in mind, you may not leave alive if you come back. You were never welcome here.
And never... So, where do we find Kuwana-san?
I'm sure the Ryomon will lead us to him. Just so happens I've got a brother there named Tesso.
Oh, what?
Now let's get there before Kuwana changes his mind.
Yeah, let's go.
So, you Yagami Yanaki? Tesso-san told me to let you in. Will you be coming inside?
Sure, let me pass.
This way, please.
Bro, hey man. Welcome back, friends.
Tesso Aniki? Do I have to call you that?
Take a seat. And you too, buddy.
This'll be fun.
And which of your names should we be using for you now? Kuwana? Or do you prefer Kitakata-sensei?
Kitakata's a name that's been all but murdered by society. In Ijincho, I'm just a merry old handyman Kuwana-san.
If you ask the cops, you're the murder suspect Kitakata. After killing Sawa-sensei, you fled the scene. At least, that's the story the police top brass are passing down through the ranks. Now, why would they say something like that about you?
Calm down, Yagami. How come you never relax?
So Kuwana hired you guys from the start, and you pretended to not know each other in front of me? If that's the case, you really went all out for me.
Didn't I tell you? The Ryomon accepts anonymous requests, too. Tesso didn't know I was the one who hired him. I suppose there's no point in hiding that now.
That's just how it is. Nothing to get mad over, bro.
You really aren't hiding anything? Did you tell him all you've done?
He's a former high school teacher who's going around killing bullies. Can't be much more to hide than that. Do you need any more convincing?
Honestly, I'm at a loss. I worked my ass off to get where you are.
And I'm still trying to untangle the mess you've made of it. You've got my student helpers by the throats. So I'm really backed into a corner here.
You mean the graduates from Kurokawa Academy? Like Mamiya-san?
Very good, Sugiura-kun. So how about it? No reason for us to doubt each other's intentions, right? All the secrets are out in the open now.
Fine. Then I'm gonna light up.
You were just over at Geomijul, weren't you? RK was looking for me there. The police even...
Yeah.
Well, now I'm even more confused. I give up. Who has influence over both RK...
Care to venture a guess?
They'd be the uneducated guesses of a handyman. You got any bright ideas yourself?
I haven't confirmed it for sure yet, but I have a pretty good theory for it.
Oh?
Reiko Kusamoto, Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health. She's Mitsuru Kusamoto's mother, your student from 13 years ago.
Wait, what?
There's a chance she's the one trying to silence you. And public security...
Public security?
A detective from Kanagawa PD told me. He was also told to back off RK. If public security is protecting RK, it would...
Hey, back up. Why does this Kusamoto lady want to silence Kuwana in the first place?
Kuwana had his former students kidnap Shinya Kawai in Kamurocho 5 years ago. The same guy who pushed her son into jumping off a roof. Kawai was killed after that. Before you killed Kawai, you approached Reiko Kusamoto about the Ahara told us that. Before taking revenge on a bull, did you make the same offer to Reiko Kusamoto?
What if I did?
She's the Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health. She's pretty popular. She's even cleaning up her predecessors. If it were to surface that she agreed to a revenge killing, they'd have yet another massive scandal on there. And if you get to go down in cuffs instead of a body bag, that detail may just come before that can happen. Reiko Kusamoto plans
Have me silenced, and use public security to do it.
Exactly. Except public security can't just go after you. So they That would explain why public security is trying to cover for...
I see. Well, the logic starts off soundly enough.
Something wrong with it?
Unfortunately, yes. Something...
What's that?
I did, in fact, approach Kusamoto-san 5 years ago. But just as you said, I used Mamiya-kun and the others to kidnap.
And?
From that point on, Kusamoto-san knew I was directing Mamiya-kun and the others. So, if Kusamoto-san wanted to go after me, Mamiya-kun and the others would be first. But the fact is, public security hasn't laid a finger on them, which means Kusamoto-san isn't the one giving them orders.
Sure. That makes some sense.
Hey, so sorry if this is off topic, but what was Kusamoto-san doing when Shinya Kawai was killed 5 years back?
She was standing right there with me. Afterwards, she took 3 days of PTO, and that was a first for her.
Why?
Shinya Kawai died at the hands of Kusamoto-san. She drove the knife into his chest personally. She took it slow, making sure he suffered the whole time. Just like Akihiro Ehara, she avenged her son with her own 2 hands. I admire her.
She killed Kawai herself?
Afterward, she told me she'd never wash the smell of his blood off her hands.
Damn, man.
I was the only one who knew that, by the way. The others have no idea. On that day 5 years ago, I sent them straight home after they brought me, and I was the only one with Kusamoto-san when she killed him.
This sounds way too crazy.
Even so, the fact is, Kusamoto-san hasn't betrayed me. Besides, I doubt the Vice Minister is powerful enough to
Who is giving them their...
Well, I'd say your theory's on the right track. I'm sure public security contracted RK. It lines up with what's happening. I imagine they're so persistent because they know I can be used against Kusamoto-san.
Either way, whoever's pulling the strings is someone who'll benefit from your capture. So if it isn't Reiko Kusamoto, maybe it's one of her enemies?
An enemy?
Yeah. Like someone within the Ministry of Health. Nothing would be more valuable to them than dirt on Kusamoto, right? They're probably trying to... Or they could threaten and manipulate her. Is that why public security has been taking action? If they wanted to take her down, they could have had the police investigate her fair.
Right. Plus, she has the public's support. It's all just more reasons for her to have enemies.
I read some article about how even the Prime Minister has a heart. Like, she'll get up in his face every time he signs an order.
So the Prime Minister's trying to find some dirt on Reiko Kusamoto?
He's just an example. Weren't you listening when we said Kusamoto?
Don't be a dick.
So whoever's behind this may have been looking for a weakness in Kusamoto-san for a while. They must have got their start after realizing Ehara's case was really about getting revenge on a bully. That puts Ehara and Reiko Kusamoto in the same boat. And if they discovered that Kawai also vanished 5 years ago,
Regardless, That wouldn't account for the rest of the incidents where a bully ended up dead. You'd know. You're the one going up and down the whole country killing them off, aren't you? Kawai makes number 7.
7? Damn, man.
It wouldn't take much to connect the dots. It'd lead straight to her. Reiko Kusamoto. Then they'd know that she was among the victims who got her revenge.
Yeah. And then, to Ahara's case. The link between him and Kusamoto is clear as day now if you know what you're looking for. That link is Sawa-sensei. It took me a while, but I connected the two cases together myself. It was RK. She never should have even been on their radar. In fact, they traced your name from her. Sawa-sensei knew. She suspected you were involved with the Mikoshiba murder in one way or another, right? You don't care. You see your killing spree on these former bullies like you're doing the country a service. In your eyes, this is vengeance. Actually, no. You'd call it justice, wouldn't you? Except, Sawa-sensei wouldn't have died if it was.
That was never my intent. She shouldn't have died.
No. You don't get to just brush her off like that. Like an afterthought. You had to have known you'd go down for this eventually. And you're fine if all your old students like Yui Mamiya go down with you. By then, why would you look back at your trail of blood? Why would you clean up all your carnage? It's not your problem, right? You move forward with one purpose. Send as many bullies to hell as you can. Beyond that, you don't give a shit what happens. Sawa-sensei died in tears. You didn't see what I saw. The fear she must have felt was still frozen on her face. You, Ahara, Reiko Kusamoto, you're all murderers. And so far, all of you have gotten away with it. So why did Yoko Sawa end up having to pay the price? Tell me, will you even be able to look her in the eye when you die?
I doubt it. That's gonna follow me well into the afterlife. So what now, then? March to the cops and turn myself in?
You should. If you don't do exactly that, no one will know why she had to die, and that'll be the end of her story. Everyone will keep on dancing around her death, even though she was completely innocent. Just like the cops are doing.
Afraid I can't do that. If I turn myself in now, there's only one thing that happens. Public security takes me out. And worse, Reiko Kusamoto would be compromised. And that, I will never allow to happen. Of all the people involved in this, she deserves to walk free. Her revenge was justified.
You think so?
All she did was scrape off the scum of the earth that pushed her only son into an attempted suicide. She didn't sit around crying about a legal miscarriage. She took justice into her own hands. No one has any right to indict her for that. So don't go there. Nobody lays a finger on her.
Hey, skinny ginger kid. Looks like this is gonna turn into a little more than a chat.
Good thinking.
So is your plan to kill me too? Anyone who interferes with your justice, we all get added to your body count, don't we?
The punishment fits the crime. You're just blind. If you can't see that, then you can go to hell! Stay out of my way! Bring it up! Finish this!
Come get some! Bring it on!
How long has this been going now?
I lost track.
Call it?
Nah. They're gonna tire out eventually. Beating the shit out of each other is the way some people communicate.
I can see that.
There we go. Now let's stop them.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Haven't you had enough yet?
What? You think it's time to give it a rest?
Hell no. Stay out of our way.
You're not looking so hot.
You got lucky I stopped when I did, you know. I had a move lined up with your name on it.
You're the one who got lucky as far as I'm concerned. I was about to kick your ass.
What a fucking mess, guys. Hey, both of you, eat. Your food's getting cold.
One of our higher-ups cooked this himself. Won't look good if there's any left.
Not a problem. This stuff's great.
Delicious. Man.
So that means Reiko Kusamoto could be being targeted by public security.
Right. It's possible part of the police wants to catch me as leverage against Kusamoto-san on public security. But that's only if public security really is behind this. You're the one who said you got that info from a cop.
Well, someone up top's been putting pressure on the investigation. But no matter how you slice it, the fact that you're enemy number one while RK roamed... Unfortunately, all I got out of that cop was that public security...
Public security is Japan's top intelligence agency.
Agreed.
And I guess now's a good time to make a suggestion.
Huh?
Tell me, who benefits the most from you two fight? That'd be public security. The more you drag each other down, the easier they'll be able to get the jump. By the time you notice, it's too late. They've got you. And that's exactly... What if you two work together? You watch each other's backs and act before RK, and you might even be able to find out who's pulling the string.
Yeah. For two enemies to join forces, there needs to be an even greater threat.
Sure. I'm on board.
Fine, but this is only temporary. Once we finish with public security, I'm gonna make sure.
Okay. Then where do we start? Should we just...
No. First, we need to confirm public security is really the enemy we're after.
We'll make our move after that.
We have the element of surprise. They have no idea we're working.
Then we'll use it to our advantage and outsmart them.
Aw, look at the boys playing nice.
If public security's trying to find some leverage against Kusumoto-san, they'll likely be... They're the experts in wiretapping and espionage, after all. We just need a... We'll just give her a call.
Right here?
Yes. That way, her enemy will trace the call and pinpoint our and public security is the only one in Japan who can pull that off, so we'll know right...
Yeah. Wait, hold up! You saying if you call up Reiko Kusumoto, then the bad guys will start pouring in? We maybe not do that here?
Actually, that might just work in our favor.
Huh? Bro, why are you talking crazy?
Yagami-san, you sure about getting on bro terms without Kaito-san? Wouldn't that bum him?
Whoa. This is amazing. What is this?
Good shit, huh? You've got good taste, bro. I knew you...
Kuwana, when was the last time you spoke to Reiko Kusumoto?
5 years ago, on the night she killed Kawai. We arranged it, so we'd never contact each other after that.
So you have her number then?
If it hasn't changed.
What is it then? I have an idea.
What?
We're gonna set a trap to find out if we really are up. They trace the call and they send people for us, then we know for sure it's them. That's why we're gonna call Reiko Kusumoto using a location that does
that work?
We'll use 2 phones that can't be traced back to us, and we'll relay your voice. Obviously you won't be wherever we do this. Best to do this someplace with no one around. Once we see who they send in...
Wait, what?
Don't worry, I got it. You'll catch
First,
up.
we need to know our enemy. I'll have Tsukumo prep us some burner...
Which means... a truce for the time being?
Only while you're here. Gotta keep things civil for my brother.
Man, Zhao-san's cooking makes even the suckiest...
Cheers to that! Hey, so Tsukumo-kun's already got the phones ready.
2 of them, right?
Just like you asked for.
Nicely done, Yokohama 90.
Just the 2 I've been waiting for.
Hey, got those burner phones ready?
Of course
I still don't fully get what's going on. Yagami-san...
Okay, I'll break it down. First, we call Kuwana on 1 phone. Let's say this one here. Using them that way. The phones won't be connected to each other, but their voices will be relayed so they can talk normally.
Oh, okay. And then?
If public security finds out Reiko Kusumoto's talking to Kuwana, they'll trace the call without actually finding him. And we can see exactly who they send without risk of being seen.
Surely you don't intend to do that here, do you? That would put a beacon on us for Kuwana-san's end.
Yeah, we'll do it somewhere remote. We need a place where nobody would raise an eyebrow at an army of public, and it's gotta have a good vantage point.
There's a bill. It's late, so no one should be around that may get involved on...
Where is it?
It's right near Seiryo High. There's a crane by the river, too.
Okay, you 2 stay put. I should be able to handle this.
You sure about that?
Let me at least put out a drone, Yagamishi. Even if it isn't, I'll use it to capture the faces of Kuwana-san's pursuit.
That'd be good. Great. More of them. And stay down. This must be the construction site.
This is Tsukumo. Yagamishi, I've confirmed your position.
Yeah. I think I can spot whoever comes close from here. I'm gonna call Kuwana on the burner now.
Understood. It's Kuwana.
You ready? I'm about to call Reiko Kusamoto. Once you're connected...
It's been 5 years since I last spoke to her.
Can't imagine this...
Yes, hello?
This is Kitakata, from Kurakawa Academy.
What?
You'll have to forgive me for this, but the position I'm in required me to reach out to you. I would never have done this otherwise. I should also note, there's a high probability this phone call is being tapped.
I see. Very well, then.
It's been 13 years, Kusumoto-san.
So it has.
Kitakata-sensei. I've read about your accomplishments. To think you'd become a vice minister.
You never really know how things are going to work out.
But that's not true at all, Kusumoto-san. You were always destined to move up in the world. I've got to be honest with you. A woman as virtuous and as capable as you deserves the world and then some.
But... how is Mitsuru-kun?
I'm afraid he's still asleep. Nothing's changed.
I see. I wish I had the words.
What is it you wanted?
If you've been watching the news, you probably already heard. I've become a prime suspect for a crime. They think I murdered Yokosawa in her apartment.
I've heard.
Obviously, it wasn't me who killed her, of course. Do you happen to remember Sawa-kun by any chance?
The girl from your class. She was the only one of those students who ever came to visit Mitsuru. But even then, that's been at least 10 years now. I got a letter from her once. She wanted to tell me she'd become a teacher. But I never did reply. And that was the last I'd heard from her.
I see.
So back to my question. What do you want?
I hope you weren't planning to ask me for a favor. I'm afraid the answer would be no.
No, it's not that. It's just... I wanted to let you know that at some point, someone may come to you to ask a few questions about me. I thought I should give you a heads up. I'll make every effort to ensure they won't cause any trouble for you, Kusumoto-san. I'm sorry about this. I'll try to handle it from my side.
So in your opinion, then, do you believe anything related to you could cause me any trouble?
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll be just fine.
We're almost to the signal. Kill the headlights.
2 cars inbound. Looks like we were right on the money. This proves Reiko Kusamoto's phone is compromised. And if there's one organization capable of tracing a call and moving on it, it's gotta be public security on the hunt for Kuwana.
Public security is really coming straight to you by car?
No. There's no way they could mobilize their people that quickly. My guess, it's gotta be the prefectural police that they've got in their pocket. Or it's just RK.
I will say it's been great to hear your voice again. But this should be the last time you ever hear from me. I'll try my best.
I understand. Goodbye.
Hey, look. It's a drone. It has a phone attached to it. Shoot it! Shoot it down!
You sure?
Just take it down! Hurry it up! Hey! What the fuck are you aiming at?
I can't hit it! It's too small! Shit!
Damn, dude. How the hell are we supposed to chase down a drone? And where the fuck is this Kuwana guy?
Who knows, man? They called us in to catch this shithead, but how the hell are we supposed to do that? It's fucked up. Do we look like spec ops?
Yeah, right. But at least you gotta shoot that thing.
This is my second time, actually. I took a few shots at some kids in a park. I aimed at the ground and sent those little shits running for their lives.
We're done here. Pack it in.
That's 6 punks and only 1 gun between you by my count.
Who the fuck are you?
If it was you guys in charge, I'm sure Kuwana would have had this whole thing solved a long time ago. Well, then again, I suppose I do have to give you credit for how fast you made it here.
That was my gun, asshole!
Who's the one giving the orders? You may as well just level with me. You guys are RK's bottom rung, right?
It sounds like you must know Kuwana. Well, I guess we're not gonna be leaving here empty-handed after all. Come on! We're taking this guy in, boys! Fuck him up!
Why does this always happen to me? Come on!
It ain't gonna listen.
Who sent you here?
The order came from the head honchos in RK.
You mean Soma?
Not that high up. It was one of the bosses. There's a bunch of them.
What did they tell you to do once you found Kuwana?
They just said to catch him. Well, they all... like we'd pull the trigger. We never even heard what our cut...
Just another useless grunt. Tell me, gentlemen, how would you feel if you found out you were just pawns in public security's game?
We're playing what?
I suggest you quit RK while you can. Go tell your buddies, get them out too. Otherwise, they'll keep you in the dark, use you and toss you aside. You'll end up in a ditch there's no crawling out of.
Yes?
Pardon me. You would be Reiko Kusamoto, correct?
Sir, it's a little late for this. And how'd you get in here in the first place? I've expressly forbid having visitors.
Come now. I'm a coordinator with the National Police Bureau, but I'm sure you're familiar with my Division of Public Security. Bondo is my name, ma'am.
Are you now? Well, I'm afraid coordinator is rather vague.
I have a more public-facing title as well, of course. But I'm trying to be discreet here, so let's not get bogged down with minor details. It's in our best interests. I'm afraid that won't help. I've already seen to that.
What is this?
There's a question I need answered with some urgency, Kusamoto-san. It concerns the disappearance of a certain individual.
Huh.
About 5 years ago, a man vanished off the streets of Kamurocho. I'm sure you'll recognize him. A former classmate of Mitsuru-kun here, Shinya Kawai. I believe there are things you might know. I can say that with some level of certainty, as a matter of fact.